good public notice on those. City Hall's closed on Veterans Day, just FYI. No changes to staffing, but we will have a new employee starting next week, which is great news, and much welcome. Any questions for me? Okay, thank you. Next is we have a visitor tonight, the Executive Director of the Gateway Area Development District, Josh Farrow. Josh, good to have you with us.
Mayor, thanks for having me. Mayor Watts asked me to come and just brief the council on the senior meal program deficit. I know we've gained a lot of attention in the media here recently, so I just want to brief everybody on that. I want to go back, and I promise I'll be really quick, but I do want to go back to kind of how we got here and then just developments even as of today. But if we remember way back at the beginning of the pandemic, it was the governor's directive that any senior that qualified for a meal would receive a meal. And myself and the 14 other area development districts, we answered that call, and we did that, and the program exploded. And we added many more people than we had in the program previously. So you fast forward a couple of years, and we go into the last biennium budget for the state, and the legislature included $14.48 million in expanded senior meal program funding. This was in addition to our traditional or our historic state and federal funds that we had received. So we used those funds, we fully expended those funds, those 14.48 in each year of that biennium, which was fiscal year 23 and 24. Then we go into the current biennium, which is fiscal year 25 and 26. The expanded senior meal program funds were reduced to $10 million, and that was at the request of the Cabinet for Health and Family Services and the Department for Aging, based on their projections that they were running. Last fiscal year, we did come up with about a $5 million deficit, ironically, as a state. However, we worked with the governor's office at that time, and it was very quickly remedied. So we were made whole again as a state network. This year, a little bit different story. We went into the year again with the directive of grow and expand the programs, which we did. And we received a memo from the Department for Aging on September the 8th, basically saying that we would not receive any additional funds other than our original state and federal allocation. So what that meant for Gateway Area Development District and the counties that we serve, which is Bath, Menifee, Montgomery, Morgan, and Round, that's about $725,000 shortfall. If you look at that across the state, it was a $10.6 million shortfall. And so once we received that memo, we again immediately contacted the governor's office. However, at that time, they were unable to find any additional funding. So we began working with our board members, which is the county seat city mayors in those counties and the judge executives, as well as citizen members that those members appoint. We began immediately working with them to devise some plans, make cuts where we could. And as a result of that, just to let everyone know, we did take some actions including the use of transitioning back to disposable plates and cutlery, which surprisingly will save you more than you think over the course of a year. So we went back to that. That was something we had changed at the start of the pandemic. We're employing an average method at our congregate site. So that's our site on Locust Street, East Locust. Discontinued all to-go meals. So prior to, people would just pop into the center and get a to-go meal. We did make that change because part of our programming at the senior center sites is for socialization. It's not simply about nutrition. So in order for individuals to get a meal now, they do have to actually attend the site, and it's not just to go. We suspended our meal voucher program indefinitely, and so that in every county we basically gave the individuals who regularly attended our congregate sites 10 meal vouchers valued at about $10 each. We had a participating restaurant in each of our counties. In Montgomery County, it's Town and Country. So that's on hold until further notice. And then we have placed all new home delivered addition, at a separate board meeting, our board took action to indefinitely suspend our Motor Mills program, which that is a food truck that essentially goes around to a different county every day. In Montgomery County, it's on Wednesdays, and we go to just various locations: Montgomery Square Apartments, Mary Ray Trimble, Woodland Village, and Jeffersonville, Camargo City Hall, Main Cross, and Du Bois. Those are the locations we regularly go to in the county. So that is also suspended indefinitely. Fast forward again, just over the last few weeks, the deficit is across the state, with the threat of individuals being put off of our meal programs, especially our home delivered meal for individuals that cannot get out and do not have any other resources, in often case. It's gained a lot of notoriety, including from our own legislators here in this area. As of Monday, Governor Beshear, we met with him, the ads did, and the state, working with the Governor Beshear, his administration, and the legislature working together, were able to come up with $9.1 million to help with the program. So that's good news. And then today we met with the Department for Aging Commissioner to further kind of figure out how that $9.1 million is going to be allocated across the 15 different districts across the state. Those discussions are still ongoing. We do hope to have something finalized by the end of the week is our goal. And what I'll say is we hope that moving forward that this will help us as a region, and it will make our deficit much more manageable than what we initially thought, and will also hopefully keep people on the program that we have. So that's a very succinct outline of the last few weeks. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you, Mayor, or council members may have.
How many meals is that? I'm sorry.
No.
How many people are we feeding? That's a whole lot of dollars, but that's not.
Yeah, specific to Montgomery County, we have 120 people on our home delivered meal program in the county, which again is those individuals are very much in need of the meals. Typically, they get 5 meals a week, so essentially just 1 meal per day for the Monday through Friday is what we do. Our average right now, and this fluctuates week by week, but our average at the congregate site is 29. And I can give you, if you bear with me, I can give you probably some more metrics that may be a little bit more impressive with what we do on a regional level, just how many meals and whatnot that we produce. Sorry, I thought I had that in here.
That's okay.
And the 29 on-site also gets the 5 meals.
No, that's just 1 meal per day.
1 meal per day?
That's at the senior center.
Yes,
Senior
that's
center, okay.
So yeah, in Montgomery County, this is for fiscal year 2025, so last fiscal year. Our congregate site in Montgomery County served, I'll say, I'm going to round up, but 5,400 meals as a year in home delivered. In Montgomery County, we did over 27,500 meals. Again, that's pretty impressive numbers. And then Motor Mills, again, that's the food truck. We did over 630 meals for the year. So pretty impressive numbers as a region. We did over, in the 5-county region, we did over 36,000 congregate meals and over 105,000 home delivered meals and 4,300 promoted meals. So, and the meals, the majority of them, the vast majority of them are prepared at our regional kitchen in Frenchburg.
It's much more impressive to me than the dollars, because the dollars that didn't tell me nothing.
But with this deficit though, we're basically just going to on-site only meals. That's really what will happen now.
Not necessarily, especially not with our, hopefully with the 9.1 million that we're getting. No, we're going to have some more discussions, the board, and those will be coming in future days. We have a regularly scheduled board meeting next week. But no, I mean, our goal
Is to keep the meals that are delivered.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely. And also, congregate to keep it with as little minimal impact as possible is our goal. So the priority is obviously, I think, is just the home delivered meals for individuals who cannot get out and who need those meals. Just another little bit of information, since we did start a wait list back, we have, as of last week, I don't have numbers as of today, but we have 34 individuals on the home delivered meal wait list across the region, and that includes 9 in Montgomery County.
And previously, we did not have a wait list here in the county. The city and the county government both provide additional funding to make sure no one ever stays on a wait list here. That if you need a home delivered meal, you get it. So that was one of the tough changes we had to make to start putting people on the wait list. So Josh, as he said, does not know what our share of that 9.1 million is yet. So until we know that, we won't know the next step. But the board will meet hopefully next week and be able to know what we're dealing with and then make the appropriate decisions to best help our seniors. But this is wonderful news, and I'll just publicly say, Senator Elkins, appreciate him, and Representative Hale for, doing what they can to help just get the discussion going in Frankfort, and then appreciate the governor's office for finding a way and to get that money reallocated so that we can help our seniors. We were, as I've said, fully prepared here as a city council to do whatever we could to help put money into that program, but it was still going to be a huge shortfall. So this is very, very good news. Thank you, Josh. Look forward to hearing more good news whenever we can get some more definitive answers up there.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 8 is the bid that was submitted for City Lot 1 revitalization project. As you recall, we had bid this out, and last month the bid that was submitted was well outside of our comfort zone budget-wise. We rebid that out, taking out some items in the bid notice. And what we're looking to do with City Lot 1 is tear down that old retaining wall that's there, build a brand new retaining wall that's not only looks good, but is more importantly functional, and install some curbing, re-blacktop or resurface that whole lot. We've got holes in that lot that Nathan will continue to have to fill. It just needs some work. There's some liability issues there, when you've got holes in a parking lot. Some trip hazards and so forth, but with now a brand new senior center that's right adjacent to that, our plan has always been to get that lot in good functional shape. So the bid, one and only bid that was submitted by Walker Construction, and that is for $269,955. And that would kind of meet the requirements of what we're looking to do on that lot. I'll open it up for questions. One of the major things that was cut is we had some sidewalks installed, or some sidewalks that we had wanted to have installed there along Locust Street. And we believe our Public Works has a good plan that they can not only fix that section of sidewalks, but some other sidewalks on Locust Street next year, so we can remove that from that requirement through contract. But this is what we're looking at. I feel comfortable, way more comfortable with this bid that was submitted than the last bid, but I'll open it up for discussion.
And we're good to go as far as fund-wise, if we feel that
Yes.
this is appropriate? Okay.
Yes, and good question. And as far as when, this may have to be broken up a little bit, which would help us out a bit, knowing that Walker